Game 3 of this best-of-7 World Series.
Saunders fly to right center field. That's a base hit. Stopped at third as Walker runs through the stop sign. Garcia guns him down. Bounces one off. Scherzer ricochets to Young. And throw. 1-5-3. Put a star on that. Unreal. Lifted to left center field. Thomas on the move. Not going to get there. Marcus Semien finally comes through with a base hit to left center field. Rangers straight first in game 3. Corey Seager smashes a ball down line. Goodbye. 3-0 Texas. Rivera down the line towards the corner. It is 2-1 pitch. Home to left field. That's down for a base hit. Here comes Rivera, and it's Geraldo Perdomo getting Arizona on the board in the 8th. Finishes off a 1-2-3-9. And what a Texas turnaround here in game 3.
What is up, everybody? Happy Game 4 of the World Series, and happy Halloween, everyone. I am joined, as always, by Alex Curry. Alex, we got a good one last night, an entertaining one with plenty of storylines. We had injuries, we had a close game, we had a crazy play at the plate. We had it all, but ultimately the Rangers ended up walking away with Game 3, which leads to a big one here tonight in Arizona for Game 4.
Now, before we get into tonight, you mentioned it's Halloween. There's a lot of people that are here and actually dressed up, fans going all out. But this morning, you got to talk to one of the scariest pitchers of all time, Randy Johnson. How cool was that? Was that for you?
It's even hearing you say it. It's so special. Randy Johnson, one of the greatest to ever do it, and many might classify him as the greatest, at least the most dominant to ever do it. And to be here at the World Series and talk to him down on the field, just sitting down with him for 15 to 20 minutes was really cool. And that episode is out now. You can listen to the entire interview at Flippin Bats pod. Check it out. But you know, it was really cool. One of my first baseball memories was my dad one night, late night, coming to wake me up in my room and saying, hey, come on downstairs. I want you to watch the end of something. And it was actually Randy Johnson's perfect game that he threw. And my dad came to wake me up to watch that game, and we watched the end of that together. And I told him that story, and we talked about that. And it was funny. I said, what do you remember most about that perfect game? And when did you think it was a possibility? He said, I was 40 years old at the time. I was just happy when I got through the 9th inning thinking, man, I just pitched 9 innings again. It turned out it was a perfect game. But
so he wasn't even thinking about that.
He obviously knew, but he was like, I was equally as excited that I was able to get through 9 innings at 40 years old. So we talked about it all. Really, really awesome conversation.
Love that. Also love that he took your headshot this morning. But go check that out later, because right now.
He did take my headshot. Wait, Alex, hold up.
What?
Oh, my gosh. There's a snake in my boot.
Stop. What? That was so, not the right time. I'll let you have it, though, because you were talking about one of your faves, Randy Johnson.
What do you mean not the right time? There was a snake in my boot.
Should have been we were talking about Halloween.
There's never a wrong time.
You know what the right time is? To talk about Game 4. Right now. And as we mentioned off the top, the Rangers are still undefeated on the road, but the Diamondbacks have been here before. They have gone down in both series, and they have come back. So how important is this game tonight for the D-backs?
I'll tell you how important it is. Tonight is a must-win game for the Arizona Diamondbacks. Tommy Pham talked about it with us after Game 2 when he said tonight was a must-win game when they were down 1. This is absolutely a must-win. Teams that go down 3-1 in the World Series have only won 12.8% of the time. 6 of 47 have been able to do it. Not many. So, 7-game series, currently 2-1. If you win tonight when you're the Diamondbacks, tie game, tie series, 2-2, you're fine. In a best-of-7 series, you don't have to worry until you lose 2 games in a row. It hasn't happened yet. It could happen tonight if the Rangers win another one. But 2 in a row, you're in trouble. 1 is fine. The Diamondbacks are fine. You just have to win tonight. And it gets a little tricky because tonight's a bullpen game. When you never really want to have a bullpen game. You'd rather have Zach Gallen or Merrill Kelly out on the mound, but they don't have that luxury tonight. So, we're getting a bullpen game. Luckily, the D-backs bullpen has been great. 60 innings pitched this postseason, a 2.85 ERA, only 4 home runs allowed. They had to go to a bullpen game in Game 4 of the NLCS. In fact, tonight's starter, Joe Mantiply, started that game as well, and he was pretty good. They ended up using 8 pitchers in that game. But the D-backs are hitting .395 against left-handed starters this postseason, and they're going up against Andrew Heaney on the other side of things. Now they're 5-0 against those left-handed starters. So we're going to get – it's more of a bullpen game for the D-backs because I fully expect the same thing we saw in Game 4 of the NLCS where they used 8 pitchers. I think in a perfect world for the Rangers tonight, they get Andrew Heaney through 3, and then maybe Dane Dunning for 3, and then next thing you know, it's like you just had a starter that threw 6 innings, and you're fine. But I think we're going to be closer to a bullpen game for both, and that favors the Arizona Diamondbacks. 2.85 ERA in the postseason. That's really, really good. Look for them to mix and match. Joe Mantiply's starting, as I mentioned. Don't expect him to throw 2 or 3 innings. Joe's out there for 1 inning, most likely. And he's going to get Corey Seager. He's going to get Evan Carter, the 2 lefties, lefty-lefty matchup. He matches up well against them, and then he's probably done. So we will see what happens here. But we're going to get a bullpen game just like the D-backs had in Game 4 of the NLCS. But it doesn't mean, Alex, that this is going to be a high-scoring game. Oftentimes, as a hitter, I hated bullpen games. At least with a starter, I can go up there in that first inning or first at bat and see what a guy has.
Yeah.
And obviously, you hope you get a hit. But when I go up for the second at bat, and oftentimes even the third at bat, I've seen that guy.
Yeah.
I know what he has. I know where the ball comes out of his hand. I know what it looks like. I feel a lot more comfortable. In a bullpen game, you're facing somebody different every single at bat. And that's why bullpen games are valuable. That's why throwing a different guy every inning can be valuable. Why don't you do it in the regular season if it's so valuable? Well, you can't just use your bullpen every day all the time. You're doing it because it's the World Series. You don't care about depleting your bullpen because you have an off day in 2 days and you're fine. But you don't typically see this because you don't want to deplete your bullpen. But don't expect this massively high-scoring game just because we're getting these teams low-end starters or their bullpen here tonight. But, Alex, one guy caught up with before the game.
Your guy.
We both caught up with him. Corbin Carroll. I love this guy. We talked all about these Arizona Diamondbacks, their resilience, their ability to come back in series, what chaos means to this team. Let's check that out now. All right, Corbin, Game 4 is on deck here. Have you had a second yet? You're an all-star in your rookie year, back home in Seattle. You make the playoffs. You're in the World Series. Then you get to play the first home playoff game here in 22 years. Have you had a second yet to take it all in?
It's been an amazing year. There's no other way to put it. You know, there have been so many great moments. But, you know, what's not talked about, too, is there's been some great learning moments. You know, losing 9 in a row, team struggles, personal struggles. Like, I think all of it's just made the year taste that much sweeter.
Now, you guys have been here before and come back plenty of times already in the postseason. So what's the mentality and more so the conversation today in the clubhouse to make sure you tie up this series once again?
Yeah, check it. New day, right? Like, just that's all we can do. You know, learn from yesterday, flush it, and move on. You know, we're ready to go.
I feel like the slogan of the Diamondbacks these days is embrace the chaos. You see chaos everywhere. To you, how would you describe what the chaos is exactly that the Diamondbacks create?
Yeah, honestly, you know, I think it may be a little bit of a misnomer. I don't think we necessarily create anything. I think we take advantage of what the other team gives us. I think we're really good at doing that. I think that putting pressure on the other team may create some mistakes, though, and maybe that ties in as well.
Yeah.
So majority of this team, this is your guys' first time playing in a World Series. How has that not only brought this team together, but gotten you to this point?
Yeah, everyone talks about it. Like, you win a world championship, those guys are your brothers for life, right? Those are relationships that, just continue on throughout the years. And so, that's what I'm trying to do, right? We've already got such a close team, some great relationships, and, just got 3 more to go.
Last one for you. When you one day trademark MVPCC, are you going to give me some royalties?
I thought you were trademarking it.
I am trademarking it.
That's all you. That's all you. But no, I love it. I always appreciate the support.
Appreciate it, man. Good luck.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Corbin. Good luck tonight. I love that he knew what you were talking about. He's familiar with the MVPCC, but he gave it to you, so it's up to you to trademark it. But
Love
now,
that.
let's get to the Rangers side of things, because they got a big win last night, but they lost a couple huge guys last night. Now, Adolis Garcia officially out for the rest of the World Series with a left oblique injury. Max Scherzer out for the rest of the World Series. So put this into perspective for everybody. How big of a loss is this for the Rangers?
Perspective, you ask?
Yes.
Not good.
Yeah.
It's not good. There's no way around it. You have Max Scherzer, who finally looked good, right? It was his best start since coming back, and he looked to be in control. And then he comes out of the game, ends up being back spasms, and you think, okay, maybe he'll be able to battle back and pitch later in this series. Well, no, he's off the roster. And that one was kind of a shock to hear that he's off for the rest of the series. Adolis Garcia wasn't so much of a shock. Anytime you have somebody take a swing and they immediately grab right here, you fear it's an oblique. You heard today, it wouldn't have surprised me today if we heard very early on that he's done for the series. But then we started hearing these things throughout the day, right? Adolis Garcia's in the locker room. He's dressed, he's wearing his workout gear. He's holding a bat. He's saying he's okay. And then a few minutes later, it comes out that he's being taken off the World Series roster due to a mild oblique strain. Alex, it's not good.
No.
So players need to step up big time here, and it's got to be the bottom of the lineup. It can't be guys like Corey Seager and Evan Carter, because they're already doing the best they can do. Marcus Semien is a guy that I do think needs to step up a little bit, but the bottom of this lineup, Jonah Heim, Mitch Garver. Jonah Heim had a huge ALCS, a couple homers, a couple back-breaking homers against the Houston Astros. No pun intended due to Adolis Garcia's back, but he did have a couple back-breaking homers in that series. Jonah Heim this postseason hitting .207, Mitch Garver .244. Those guys need to step up. But Alex, I talked to John Smoltz earlier today about what the Rangers are supposed to do without Adolis Garcia and who needs to step up for this team in his absence. Let's listen to that. All right, John, Game 4 on deck here today. In Game 3, we saw Max Scherzer come out of the game early, not due to performance. It's actually his best pitching performance since he returned. Later said his back started spasming a little bit. Did you as a pitcher ever have to deal with back spasms?
Oh, yeah. I think at some point everybody does. I was constantly getting stretched, adjusted. I needed an army to get me through the season. And you just learn different tricks and trades. I never really had a scenario play out like that where it forced me out of the game. But there's many times starting the game I felt like that, and luckily it loosened up as time went on.
So if you're a guy like Max where it hits you in the middle of a game, and if it's bad, there's no pitching through it.
Yeah, especially the way he pitches, right? He uses his arms, legs, and body, a unique style. He's aggressive towards the home plate, and he just needs all his body parts working the right way. You get older, and these things happen. Unfortunately, it stinks. It's the worst of worst, but his team won, and that actually makes you feel a little bit better.
John, it feels like with this Rangers team, Corey Seager's been red hot, Adolis Garcia's been red hot, Evan Carter's been hitting well, but those are really the guys where the production is coming from. Adolis Garcia is out of the lineup here tonight in Game 4, a mild oblique strain. Texas Rangers, who do they need to now step up if they want to win the World Series?
Well, they've been doing it with defense, some huge defense. Seager's has been a part of that. Evan Carter obviously going to be a big part of kind of support for Kyle Seager. But I think the bottom of their lineup has to come up at big. Like all year, they were one of the best 7, 8, 9 offense in all of baseball. Right now, Arizona's winning that battle. So if they can come up big in the bottom of the lineup, it then turns it around, and you can't pitch around Seager. If I'm Arizona, I'm pitching around him, but he's hitting every pitch you throw up there that's even close, and he's doing damage.
All right, we've already already kind of mentioned it today. We are getting a bullpen game on both sides. So when you look at this pitching matchup, yes, you're going to have Heaney start for the Rangers and Joe Mantiply for the D-backs. But what can we expect to see from a complete bullpen game on both sides?
A lot of pitching changes. We're going to get a lot of pitching changes tonight. It wouldn't surprise me if we see 14 or more pitchers thrown in this game tonight. The Diamondbacks use 8 in Game 4 of the NLCS. The Rangers are going to try and get a few innings out of Andrew Heaney tonight. In a perfect world, you're getting 3 or 4 innings. Is that likely? I don't know. He didn't look very good in the last start, and he didn't get out of the first inning. But expect a lot of pitchers to be used, and we'll see how they go about that tonight. But Joe Mantiply is going to start for the Diamondbacks, and all you need is 1 clean inning. That's all you're hoping for with him, is a few outs, and then you're going to use about 8 different pitchers, and we'll see how that goes. But I talked to John Smoltz about that a little bit earlier and how these bullpens are going to be used. Let's check that out now. So the Game 4 pitching matchup is about what we expected. Bullpen game. We got Andrew Heaney, Joe Mantiply starting on the other side, but I don't expect more than an inning from him, really. Talk to me about what you're looking tonight from a pitching perspective.
I think it's going to be managers, I don't know, some look at it like greatest chess match game that they're going to manage, but I think patience is going to have to come in because you're asking for the Diamondbacks, it's going to be pretty much the most pitchers they can use, whereas Texas has a 2-1 lead. They're hoping to get 3 or 4 out of Heaney and then mix and match the rest of the way. But I think the patience of each guy coming in on the manager side, because let's face it, the odds go way the other way to think that every guy that comes in the game is going to be on their game. That's the problem with this game. So for this game, you might have to be a little bit more high scoring.
So for offenses specifically, when you hear it's a bullpen game, do you think, and I know you pitched, but there is a part of it where you're not facing one guy for 2 or 3 at-bats. You're facing a new pitcher every single inning, and there is a part of that that's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Correct, and that's where the patience has to come in for the offense, too, because you're not going to face another guy more than once, especially the Rangers. There won't be anybody on the Rangers that faces the same pitcher more than once. That might not be the case for the Diamondbacks. So you have to make sure you understand each guy that comes in. I don't think you can swing wild. He might be wild. I think there's got to be some patience there, and I think you have to manipulate and take advantage of guys who come in, you have to face 3 guys, and don't have their stuff right away and score in those innings.
Nothing gets me more excited for a baseball game than the flyover. I'm happy you guys got to see that at home because it is magical chills in here right now.
Alex, I love flyovers.
Same.
I was not expecting one for Game 2 here.
Yeah.
I was hoping we'd get one for Game 1 here, but we just got 2 flyovers. That's great. What's better than 1 flyover? 2 flyovers.
2.
What's better than 2? 3.
If the roof is open. All right, let's get to the Rangers lineup because a lot of movement tonight with Adolis Garcia out for the remainder of the World Series. Who is your player to watch?
Yeah, I think this is more of what we can expect for the rest of the series, right? A lineup that looks a little bit like this. So for me, my player to watch in this lineup is Marcus Semien. Marcus Semien needs to step up without Adolis Garcia. He hasn't been great. He's still there in that one spot. He has to be better. This lineup will be just fine without Marcus Semien or without Adolis Garcia, but Semien has to step up. 194 average in the postseason, a 491 OPS. That can't happen. He's got to be better.
All right, my player to watch is Corey Seager. He has been stepping up, and he needs to continue to do that. He is one of the few guys in this lineup that has been here before and won a World Series. So if he can continue to do what he has been doing, I think this team will follow suit. But now let's get to the D-backs lineup. Little bit of movement here, a quick little swap again at the top of the lineup. Who are you watching tonight?
Corbin Carroll, and not just because I love Corbin Carroll, not just because his MVP CC, it's because it's time for him to step up. At home, this postseason, 5 games, an average of 0.56, just 1 single. On the road, 10 games, 385, 2 homers, 10 RBIs, 10 runs scored, 24 total bases, and an OPS over 1,000. Complete opposites. They're here at home tonight in a must-win ball game. Corbin Carroll's got to step up.
My player to watch is Tommy Pham. He has been red hot for this team. He got a couple of hits last night, a 4-hit game the game before, but they need hits with runners in scoring position. They need to get RBIs tonight. And if he can keep doing what he's been doing, the D-backs can even up this series here tonight.
Yep, I agree.
All right, game prediction. Who's winning this one?
All right, so game prediction here tonight. I think the Diamondbacks win this game here tonight, Alex. I think they win it 4-3, even up the series, and we head to a Game 5 all tied up.
I'm also taking the D-backs 5-4. I think they need to win this one if they want to stay in this series right now.
Must-win game tonight.
Must-win game. Deciding factor?
My deciding factor here tonight is going to be, let's see, Diamondbacks to win, Andrew Heaney. I'll go Andrew Heaney. And how he pitches. Can he be effective, or will it be like it was in the first inning of the last time he started?
Okay. That's it.
That's it.
Here we go.
Game 4 is on deck. A must-win game for the Arizona Diamondbacks. We will be back post-game for our live show then. I'll be dressed up. Alec will be in our costumes. It'll be a blast. But stay right here through first pitch, through the first half inning, and we will see you all after the game.
Wins for these two teams were problems. That's not the case anymore, though, and as we line up for dueling bullpen games here in Game 4, both these teams feel like they have a good shot to win.
Yeah, the timing couldn't be any better for, you think about the Texas Rangers. The regular season wasn't great. The bulk of their bullpen blew a lot of games. Well, they're going to need that bullpen to move on in the series, and what better timing for them when they have the winning situation. The winning formula has been outstanding for Bruce Bochy. They feel good if they can get out to an early lead and use high leverage guys. For the Arizona Diamondbacks, their timing has been great because the last 2 months has been outstanding, and that's what they're going to rely on. This is going to be their game they had earlier in the postseason. They had a win in this exact same situation.
It, John, doesn't matter how well they pitch if they don't get more offense than they did last night, and it all starts with their superstar player, Corbin Carroll.
Yeah, the top of the orders are real important for both teams, but really for Arizona, it's super important. You're talking about the rookie of the year. When they win, he's doing something special, and when they're not, it's been a hard go for him, really. So for the Diamondbacks to make this a 2-2 series, look for Carroll early in the game to do something special.
Hey, who says you have to choose between baseball and Halloween, huh? Hey, found him! What a day to be alive. We got Halloween, we got Game 4 of the World Series on Fox. That dude is everywhere, I swear.
Saw me in the bathroom, numbers in the bed. Kiss, make up, toast in the bed. I felt this long, so don't let me trap in the deck. No way, some goes jogging on Lazy Rover. Out of the way, get dirty up on the ghost of Cobra. Hey, no way.
in the last 162 games, we still remember the individual moments of brilliance. We remember the good, the bad, the chaotic, and the ones that become iconic.
This time of the year, only the extraordinary can be named in the same breath as Mr. October. Reserved for when the player meets the moment on the game's biggest stage.
That ball is gone!
And everybody's going to try to be a hero.
Who will create their own legacy?
And the legend grows!
Game 4 of the World Series, next.
And we are all set. Welcome to the 2023 World Series on Fox, presented by Capital One. That was Bad Bunny bringing us back and getting us set for Game 4. His new album is out. Mr. October on that album. Fitting to get us going for Game 4. There is some big news in for it. Here's Ken Rosenthal.
Thanks, Joe. Major news indeed. Adolis Garcia out for the rest of the series, as is Max Scherzer. Garcia took a couple of swings in the batting cage today and immediately shut it down. Obviously, losing a player who has hit 8 homers this postseason and driven in a record 22 runs is a huge blow, and the Rangers had an emotional hitters meeting before today's game. Offensive coordinator Donnie Eckert told the players, "This only adds to our purpose. The more obstacles, the more meaning." Garcia also spoke, telling his teammates, "I'm with you, finish the job." Now, over to Tom Verducci.
Well, thanks, Ken. The World Series spotlight, it can be harsh. It can bring out the best in a player. Pick a big moment, any big moment in this World Series, and chances are Corey Seager is right in the middle of it. Game-tying home run in game number 1, check. Game-breaking home run in game number 3, check. Game-saving defensive play in game 3, check again. Corey Seager has hit more World Series home runs than any shortstop. Ask Bruce Bochy why he steps up in these big moments, and he says, because his game awareness is off the charts. What will he do next? Joe.
All right, guys, and yeah, the two guys that they chose to lead them back, Marcus Semien and Corey Seager at the top of the order, and they drove in all 3 runs in Game 3 last night. Now, with Garcia out, there's obviously some changes. Mitch Garver moves up and bats 3rd. Carter stays in the cleanup spot. Josh Young hit 5th for most of the season. This is the highest, though, that he's hit in the order this postseason. Lowe's the 6th hitter. Jonah Heim still looking for his first hit of the Fall Classic. Bats 7th, does the catching with Taveras in center. And Travis Jankowski makes his World Series debut in right field in place of Garcia. Tonight's FanDuel Live same-game parlay. Evan Carter has reached in all 15 games in this postseason. He has just 1 home run, though. Geraldo Perdomo has done some good things out of the bottom of the order for Arizona. So, John, the first of what will be many pitchers for the Diamondbacks in this game, 32-year-old Joe Mantiply.
Yeah, when you start a postseason game, you think about how many innings are you going to go. Tonight is going to be about how many batters do you face. And really, there won't be anybody in the Diamondbacks more than likely that will face 6 batters. So when you come in the game, you've got to be on your game, and you've got to get 3 batters out. That's what each pitcher is going to try to do. And I think tonight is a battle of the 3rd and the 2/3. Who wins the 3rd, the first 3 innings, and who's leading after the 2nd third, which is the 4th, 5th, and 6th innings, will have a leg up and winning this game.
Arizona was in this same exact situation in the National League Championship Series, down 2-1 with a bullpen game lined up. They won that game, came back to win the series. They find themselves down again, while Texas is now 2 wins from its first World Championship. Off we go with strike 1 on Marcus Semien. So Semien, after knocking in 100 during the regular season, had his first RBI in 11 games last night to open the scoring. Rangers got 3 runs in the third. That's all they'd need. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Well, Manaply has been really tough on left-handers. Right-handers have kind of had their way a little bit. High batting average on low fastballs. But again, he's only in there really to face 3 batters and get 3 outs.
The 1-2-3 7th inning in game 1 of this World Series. No earned runs in 7 of 8 games that he's pitched in this postseason. Out of Danville, Virginia. A lot of years of just trying to hang on in the major leagues. Finally did at the age of 30 a couple years back. He had his breakout year last year. He was an all-star. But he was bad for a lot of this year. Injury after injury, to the point where Joe started wondering, man, am I about to get released? But he found it late and a key role in this postseason.
Well, one thing he does extremely well, and you don't want to always be behind an account to throw a ton of strikes, but he has a high percentage of strikes when he's behind in the count. So 3-1, 3-2, throwing strikes.
Home with a full count pitch. And a pop-up from Semien. That is out of play. Yeah, we'll do the full count pitch again. Umpires tonight, David Rackley calls balls and strikes. Alfonso Marquez, big part of the conversation in the 9th inning last night with 2 missed calls in the Gabby Moreno at bat that evened themselves out. Still was not a good look in that big moment. Another payoff pitch, and Semien sends another foul. So these teams split the 2 games in Arlington. 3-1 Rangers last night. The bullpen again making things hold up for Bruce Bochy. 6 innings, just 1 run. On the 8th pitch, Semien grounds one left side. Perdomo with a backhand play. The defense in this fall classic sparkling on both sides.
Yeah, the defense has been outstanding. Really some clutch plays and key moments. Perdomo, good arm and a good start. After falling behind 3-1, he threw nothing but strikes after that pitch.
Johnny, got to talk fast. And Seager is probably swinging right away, right?
Yeah, 3.13 pitches per at bat against left-handers.
Swings at the first pitch, drives one to left center field. Gurriel's there, and it sometimes comes with that. It's a very quick out and 2 gone in the first. So here comes Mitch Garver, who has hit 3rd in this postseason 3 different times. And in those 3 games, he's knocked in 7, including a grand slam in the division series.
Normally he takes the first pitch. But again, that's facing a starter that he knows he's going to see again.
Swings away first pitch here.
When you're going to face guys for one and only, you throw away the book and you try to take advantage of whatever that guy you're facing at that moment. And he swung at a first pitch changeup.
See what he gets on the second pitch. It is another change. Takes this one for a ball. And these can be challenging on hitters. You're going to see a different guy every time you come up these bullpen games. On a 1-1 pitch. First swings and misses. 1-2.
Well, I'm talking with Terry Lavello. He said, man, I love this kind of game every once in a while. It's like a chess match. I get to make moves based on what I see and the information at hand. Well, it's only going to be fun if each one of your guys do their job, and that's what each manager is hoping happens tonight.
And apply, try to get it off and roll. 1-2-3 inning. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mitch Garver, and he literally has a script. Torey Lavello does, and he still has a script from Game 4 of the championship series when it went almost to perfection, and he plans to frame that at the end of this season as an example of all the departments coming together, game planning. From the game planning department to the pitching staff to the the pitching coach and Brent Strom, all having this script and then having it work. He's hoping he's got another one to frame with his script tonight. Another 1-2 pitch. Torey says these kinds of games just kind of line up with the way his mind works. Challenge of a chess match. Trying to make the right moves, tested each inning.
Mantiply will have one more hitter, and that's it. And that's Carter on deck. And he would love to get Garver right here.
Payoff pitch. Garver sends it foul. You saw Miguel Castro's already ready to go down there. That'd be for Josh Young in the 5 spot. And this is a bullpen that has been one of the best in baseball the last couple months. So well equipped to handle a game like this. Garver takes a 2-out walk. Let's see the defense. We have a different guy on the mound each inning, but this will remain pretty much unchanged throughout the day. Speed in that outfield. We've seen it show up a few times in this World Series. Already a nice play by Perdomo at short. Marte and a Gold Glover and Walker over at first. Moreno is a Gold Glove finalist at catcher. So the walk to Garver gets Carter to the plate. And a spinner in there for strike one on the unflinching rookie Evan Carter, who has reached in all 15 games this postseason.
Carter more than likely going to see everyday action next year, so this limited use against left-handers will end this year.
On this 0-1, Carter takes strike 2. Only one hit against a left-handed pitcher in this postseason. Mantiply's 0-2. Fly ball center field. No big deal for Alec Thomas. Scored his first inning for Mantiply.